So let's have a look at this here. What's going on? We got this fish being reeled in. I gave you a nice picture and everything. But here's where things, I know exactly where things went south. It's I kind of understand.
I'm sure you do, but I don't remember it.
That went south.
Yeah,
My grade?
all that too.
Oh, that's encouraging.
Oh.
Early the rain,
Oh.
rain falling.
I thought we already worked on this.
I think we tried to.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? Let's go through our process, right? We got step one, snapshot variables. Now, all you need here are x's and thetas, because here's the mistake people made. A fish is reeled in along the surface of the water. That's my mistake. Because people thought that we were talking about the rate of change of this variable here, right?
Is that not
Yeah.
it?
That's not what it wants. What it wants is the rate of change. It's reeled in, meaning the line is coming in at a rate, of 2 feet per second. So the x dot is -2.
Oh.
The along the surface of the water just meant that the fish isn't like real deep down here, right? It's moving right along the surface as it gets
Wouldn't we
reeled in.
still be able to figure it out if?
No, you wouldn't, because if it was down here, you wouldn't know. The rate of change of the angle would be, you couldn't do the problem. If you didn't know that it was moving right along the surface of the water, you couldn't do this problem. There'd be all kinds of other weird variables involved, right? So I get why people got this messed up. They made it much harder than it would have otherwise been. But step one should have just looked like this. X dot equals -2, right? Isn't it 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, -2. And x equals 25. And what were they wanting to know here? A theta dot. That's it. Okay. So in that case, what's our parent equation? We know that's 15, right? So
Oh, so it'd just be sine.
sine,
Yeah.
right?
So sine theta.
So you get sine theta equals
X over
opposite
15.
over hypotenuse, right? Which we could rewrite as 15 x to the -1. Okay. Step 3, if I differentiate, what am I going to get on the left side? Cosine theta dot equals
-15 x
to the -2.
x dot.
Right. Okay. And so then all we really need to do here is solve for step 4 and solve for theta dot, right? So theta dot equals, I'm just going to divide each side by cosine, which means on the other side that's the same as multiplying by what? What's the reciprocal of cosine? Secant, right? So it's secant theta times that stuff. Right? And I know all that stuff except not secant theta, but I could pretty easily find secant theta, because if I go up and I take this triangle, at my snapshot, that's 25 and that's 15, so what's that? 20, it's a 3, 4, 5, isn't it? Right? And that's theta. So then what's that make secant of theta equal to?
5/4.
Yeah. Secant's just going to be the reciprocal of 20 over 25, so 25 over 20, which reduces to 5 over 4. So I can just plug that in right there. Right. And then we end up, if we plug chug, we just get 5/4 times -15 over 25 squared times -2. Whatever I get, if I do all that stuff is my answer. And what would my units be?
Oh,
Radians per whatever what's our time unit? Seconds, so radians per second. So I'm just gonna get, if I do that, some number of radians per second, right? Okay, whatever that number is, some number. Okay, does that make sense? So I can see why people made that, why they made the mistake they did. It's an honest mistake.
Yeah, that was
I
what it
can
was.
get it. Make sense? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you a chance to redeem yourself on that one because I thought it was a bad problem.
That's the exact problem. Redo it now.
yeah.